People along the Carolinas making last-minute preparations as Hurricane Florence gets closer. We're tracking the storm for you tonight. We'll show you when it's supposed to make landfall.
Plus, people who rent out Airbnbs in Sarasota County may be in trouble if laws change. Tonight, a group of people voicing their concerns.
And the Sarasota County Sheriff's Office has a new drone. We'll show you how they expect to use it. Your Suncoast News starts now.
You're watching ABC 7 News at 6.
Good evening. Our top story tonight, Hurricane Florence and its path towards the East Coast. Let's take a quick look at Wilmington, North Carolina right now. As you can see, the rain rolling in there on the beach.
That won't be the case for much longer as Hurricane Florence gets closer to the coastline. Chief Meteorologist Bob Harrigan joins us now. Bob, what do we know about the people there and the time they have left to prepare now?
Not much. In fact, through tomorrow, there's a possibility that you'll have a chance to get out. But this thing is going pretty fast now, but it's expected to slow down. Most of the people who should have evacuated should have done so already, but there's still a bit of a window, obviously. This is going to be a major storm, obviously, but not a Category 5. It doesn't appear it's going to be a 4, maybe not even a 3 when it makes landfall. Because of the fact it's moving so slow, it's going to cause a lot of upwelling to the water there. We saw that live picture of Wilmington Beach, North Carolina. There's not a lot going on yet, but that's all about to change in the next 24 to 48 hours. This major storm still is weakening, but it's getting bigger. What I mean by that is it's not getting stronger in terms of faster winds rotating around that center of low pressure, but it's expanding the wind field. That means the dangerous winds that cause power outages, down trees, damage to buildings is all getting wider and wider, especially to the east and northeast of the center. This is the GOES 16 visible satellite imagery, which we have access to on our weather system here, and you can see the inside there. The eye is not nearly as well defined here in the last few frames as we take you through the afternoon, and that would be an indication that it is weakening, and it looks like there's a chance about 24 hours it will have the chance to redevelop and get a little stronger throughout the midday tomorrow. Right now you can even see some shear going on around the western edge there of the system, not nearly as symmetrical as it once was as it pushes off to the northwest now. Expected high pressure to build into the north of it, which will start to move it on a more westerly course, and that begins again, it looks like late tomorrow and into Friday. So it's a 3 now. It'll stay a 3, a strong one at that, with the winds up to 125 tomorrow, a gust up to 155. Then it gets very close to the coast, and there's a chance it may not even make landfall on Friday. It could stay out on the southern edge of this cone of uncertainty, and then it makes its way in very slowly. This is a Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and Monday, still around North Carolina and South Carolina. And again, it could be on the southern edge of this. There's still a chance of that happening down into Georgia. We'll have much more on this system, as well as a newly formed subtropical storm in the North Atlantic and Isaac. Coming up in a few minutes. Back to you.
All right, Bob, we'll talk to you soon. Thank you. Airport officials at the Sarasota Bradenton International Airport say they are monitoring Florence and any effects that storm may have on flights. They're advising travelers that if you do have a flight heading up to the East Coast over the next few days, to check with your airline for any changes. Airlines will typically send out an email or a text message with changes to flight plans.
Our advice to passengers would be to check with their airline, especially starting tomorrow afternoon. You may start to see some impacts from the storm depending on how it moves. And then certainly Friday, by the looks of things, is when it'll have its biggest impact on the coast there. And
currently, SRQ has 3 flights going to Charlotte, 7 to Atlanta, and 1 to Washington, D.C. each day. Now, Frontier Airlines announcing today it is adding new nonstop service from Atlanta to Sarasota. The service will start in December and fly out on Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays to and from the Hartsfield-Jackson Atlanta International Airport. To promote the new routes, Frontier is offering fares starting at $40 each way.
New details coming into our newsroom just moments ago about a bank robber who robbed several banks in Southwest Florida, including one in Venice. After a months-long search, U.S. Marshals caught up to 57-year-old Edward Reynolds in Kentucky. According to our sister station there, Reynolds shot a Scott County Sheriff's deputy who's now in the hospital with serious injuries. Since last night, that deputy has had 2 surgeries.
I told him I loved him and that we all loved him and that we'd be with him, and he was going to get through this, and we're all going to pull together and get him through it.
Troopers say the injured deputy was assisting with the arrest of Reynolds, who was killed in the gunfire. In addition to the bank in Venice, Reynolds is also suspected of robbing several other banks in Charlotte and Lee counties.
A group of residents going in front of Sarasota County commissioners tonight with the hopes that the county changes their stance on short-term rentals, including Airbnbs. ABC 7's Rick Adams joins us live from the county administration building tonight with more on what's going on there. Rick?
Yeah, Jacqueline, the meeting got underway here at 5:30. Some folks had a chance to have their voices heard. They did speak during the public comment section of the meeting. These Airbnb owners and others want to be allowed to rent daily or even weekly. Sarasota County has begun to crack down on anyone who doesn't rent out for at least 30 days.
Red tide, for one thing, has killed these last couple months, so we've lost 80% of our revenue. I've talked to owners on Siesta Key. They're in the same boat as me. People are not going out to eat. They're not buying T-shirts. But it's also affecting all the other Airbnb people. I know a teacher, for example, who that's her livelihood. She's a teacher, she doesn't make much money. She rents out one of her rooms, and that's how she survives.
And Sarasota County does receive about $1 million a year from this Airbnb tax. It's not yet known if and when this will be placed on a future agenda. Reporting live from downtown Sarasota, I'm Rick Adams. Back to you.
All right, Rick, thank you. Westfield Siesta Key Mall hosting an outdoor nighttime market beginning October 12th. That market will feature more than 60 local vendors showcasing fresh produce, artisan foods, and other eclectic goods. The night market will begin at 5:30 p.m. every second and fourth Fridays from October through December. The market will be in the courtyard area facing Siesta Drive, and it is free and open to the public.
An update now on DeSoto County's ongoing battle with the Mosaic Fertilizer Company regarding the company's push to mine phosphate there. Today, county leaders in Mosaic are agreeing on one thing: to push back the date to form a special committee that will weigh in on DeSoto's denial of the company's bid. This third-party group is supposed to give an unbiased opinion to the idea of rezoning more than 14,000 acres of farmland for phosphate mining. They now have until December to choose the people who will be a part of this committee.
Still ahead on your Suncoast News tonight, the red tide problem continues on the Suncoast. We'll show you which events are still happening regardless of the toxic bloom.
It looks like it's our guy, if we can get a deputy over there to make contact.
Plus, how this new drone can help local law enforcement save lives.
Meet Blue. Blue's not feeling well. The prescription? Generic medication. Blue wonders, do they really work as well as name brands? Yes, generics and name brand medications do work the same. Even though they may look different, generics have the same key ingredients. FDA approval is equally rigorous for generics to make sure they're as safe and effective as name brands. And Blue even saves some green, making him a little less, well, blue. Talk to your doctor about generics and visit fda.gov/generic drugs.
Ready to open up new opportunities as an electrician? Don't do it yourself. Team up with Mr. Sparky instead. We're locally owned and looking for people like you. We offer our electricians great perks that you just won't get going it alone. And whether you're an apprentice, a master electrician, or somewhere in between, we have a spot for you.
Best decision I ever made.
Apply online or call today.
You don't have to put up with any malarkey. Call 888-8-SPARKY.
My California Closets experience has been wonderful. My mother's a huge inspiration. Before she passed away, she would say, you should do something special for yourself. First time I saw my closet, I immediately thought, this is the best thing I've ever done for myself. I call it my Tiffany style closet. I mean, I can shop in my own closet every day. I love that. My name is Cynthia, and this is my California Closets story.
Like no other. So why should your choices be ordinary? Ghibli, the absolute opposite of ordinary.
Experience it at Sunset Maserati Alfa Romeo of Sarasota.
Need more space in your place? The More Space Place can help with Murphy beds that disappear to reveal a home office, living room, or den. Custom closets with designated areas for your shoes, bags, wardrobe, and accessories. Custom-built entertainment centers, garage storage systems, and more. The More Space Place has 3 showrooms next to Sonny's on US 41 South in Sarasota, on Lakewood Ranch Boulevard just south of State Route 64 in Bradenton, and on Tamiami Trail next to Panera Bread in Port Charlotte. Put more space in your place at the More Space Place.
I heard about the Dotoli Cancer Center through friends of mine who had been treated here and were very pleased with the treatment.
If there is prostate cancer, we at the Dotoli Cancer Center will find it using 3D color flow Doppler ultrasound.
And that helped precisely identify where my cancer was and some additional cancers that were not found during the biopsy. I would recommend the Dotoli Cancer Center. As a group of human beings, they are unbelievably great.
Protesters in Englewood are not giving up in their fight to fix the red tide problem plaguing the Suncoast. Today, Englewood Indivisible Group lined the street of Dearborn and Indiana Avenue. They say they're not giving up. According to the group's Facebook page, they'll be on that corner every second and fourth Wednesdays of the month and outside the Walmart store on the first and third Wednesdays. This year's red tide has been especially hard on marine life, as we know, here on the Suncoast. Since July, Mote's Stranding Investigations Program has responded to 17 deceased bottlenose dolphins and 181 stranded sea turtles while helping recover several dead manatees for FWC. So far, samples from 10 of Mote's recovered dolphins have been tested for Florida red tide neurotoxins, and all were positive for that. Remember, if you see a distressed sea life around the area, call Mote's Stranding Investigations Program at 988-0212.
Well, the red tide algae bloom does continue here on the Suncoast.
And now it's forcing organizers to make changes to upcoming popular events. ABC 7's Rebecca Fernandez joins us now live from Venice with how some plans are changing there. Rebecca?
Yes, September is usually a very busy month here in Venice with a ton of local annual events. But now some of those events can be added to the list of red tide victims.
We plan our events a year in advance. We have all our volunteers lined up, vendors are lined up, the bands are lined up, the sponsors. We're all really, really excited about it. So at this point, we're just going to keep an eye on the beach.
There are more than a dozen events planned throughout the next month in Venice, but some of them are being washed out because of red tide, like the city's monthly 6-mile bike ride that was canceled this week. But others are staying with the tide. This weekend's Battle of the Bridges Rowing Regatta, which is being held in Venice for the very first time, is still on for Saturday.
Red tide has presented a little bit of a problem for us because it hasn't been an issue in the past.
They have decided to shorten the duration of the event to only 4 hours from 8 a.m. to noon instead of the entire day.
Safety is our #1 priority. We want our athletes to be safe. So that's why from day one, we've been consulting with Mote Marine, with other agencies to make sure that the entire part of the race is safe for our boaters. It's one of the reasons why this waterway was picked, is for safety, to make sure our athletes are safe.
And since conditions had improved tremendously, organizers of the yearly Venice Beach Bash were hopeful they were in the clear. But Mother Nature turned the winds back, and the red tide is back on our beaches.
Keeping a really close eye on it. We're still planning to host it on the 22nd. If we do have to make a change to the event, we will make that decision around September 19th, and the decision will be to postpone it to a date where the red tide clears up.
The City of Venice will continue posting updates about these events on their Facebook page and on the city's website. Live in Venice, Rebecca Fernandez, ABC 7, your Suncoast News. Back to you guys.
Thank you, Rebecca. We're all wondering when it's going to clear up, and it's not yet.
No, unfortunately not. And David Pilston of the Save Our Seabirds saying that they've had a lot of the cormorants come in today. They're getting slammed with birds that are sick as a result of the red tide that's going on. And the midweek report has come out. We have our own disaster taking place right here. This red that you see is not hurricane warnings, but that is indicating high concentrations of red tide are back in full effect across west central Florida. 125 miles of coastline stretching from from Collier County northward up into Pinellas now. And you can see those high concentrations even extending out into the Gulf of Mexico, some 10 miles offshore. And unfortunately, it's not going away anytime soon. You know, when we get that nice east wind, it makes it seem a little bit nicer out there along the coast in some areas. But as soon as that sea breeze kicks in, yes, it does bring that red tide back on shore too, and kind of makes the flow back toward the coast. Now, we're going to stay with an east wind tomorrow, but those high concentrations not going away anytime soon. It just doesn't vanish overnight just because of a few days of east wind. You can see this east to northeasterly wind flow here. It's moving toward our coast as a result of the high pressure just to the north of the state. There will be some convergence set up. We will see some showers popping up here and there over the next several hours as this east coast sea breeze makes it all the way over to the west coast. And you can see that west coast breeze has now made its way inland. This is an outflow boundary from some earlier storms. The sea breeze is kind of hung up along I-75 here. So as this moves closer, there'll be a few pop-up showers here and there. Wouldn't cancel any plans right now, but keep an eye to the sky and keep your ABC 7 First Alert weather app handy. You can kind of follow those storms if they break out near your area. As far as the tropical tracker goes, obviously the big storm is Florence right now, but it is loaded up there in the Atlantic right now. And it looks like it could even stay offshore on Friday. Friday, it's expected to be very close to the Carolina coast, or North Carolina coast near Myrtle Beach, and then move to the southwest as high pressure builds to the north of it. Once it gets far enough to the west, it will go around the periphery of that high pressure ridge and go right through the Appalachians, bringing heavy rainfall and flooding concerns there into western portions of North Carolina and even into Tennessee. But the big concern obviously is storm surge, heavy rain, and the potential of a major hurricane moving on in to that region. It looks like the timing of it, this would be, again, this is Thursday, up to 155-mile-an-hour gusts, 125 sustained. Still a strong storm here at 1:15. This is, again, Friday. And then Saturday, moving off to the west, southwest, and still hanging around with 80-mile-an-hour winds. So that's just going to hammer the coast there with some high surf. As far as power outages are concerned, this is going to be severe. We're talking severe scale all the way through parts of the eastern portions of North Carolina, and high concentrations as well inland. So I think that'll be a big factor as well. Power outages widespread throughout the Carolinas for that matter. And then the rainfall. We're talking 20 inches plus in the yellow that you see right there. That's the European forecast model. The GFS puts a little bit more emphasis into North Carolina as far as that 20 to 30 inch range goes. It's not that healthy on the satellite imagery tonight. We're not seeing the deep reds around the center. That's good. But the bad thing is, and I'm trying to tell people, is that when it gets a major hurricane, it expands its wind field. Those tropical storm force winds extend over 100 miles out from the center. And that is going to cause some significant problems with damage and storm surge, especially to the right of the center. We're expecting up to 17 to 19 in some isolated areas in those inlet areas. Hurricane warnings are in effect. And again, this is the wind radius of that storm as it makes its way in. Tropical storm, not tropical storm, but storm surge warnings are up along the Carolina coast all the way into South Carolina. Well, I'm just going to circle the whole map of the Atlantic and the Caribbean, the Gulf of Mexico. But no, we do have many different systems that are breaking out right now. You can see this one up here is now subtropical storm Joyce. This is Helene. This is Isaac. And this is soon to be Kirk as it heads off toward Texas. Well, I want to show you this one real quick. Doesn't appear that it's going to do much. It could even open up to a tropical wave as it makes its way toward the islands. But we'll have to watch it here in the central Caribbean. There's a chance that it could get going again, but not much. The intensity forecasting a little suspect at this point. Our high today, by the way, real quickly, record-breaking or tying at 94 degrees. East winds turn to the northwest at 5 to 10 knots. Seas will be 1 to 2 feet and a light chop on the bays and inland waters. The extended forecast then does call for a chance for scattered afternoon and evening storms on Thursday, Friday, less of a chance on Saturday. It looks to be a pretty good weekend. Then we'll get back to afternoon storms through next week. Back to you.
All right, Bob, thank you. First responders in Sarasota County have added another tool in their efforts to keep you safe. The Sheriff's Office has purchased the county's first drone. And today was launch day. ABC 7's Jess Dowdrick was there.
Today, the Sarasota County Sheriff's Office put their Dragonflyer Commander drone to the test, launching it here at Nathan Benderson Park in an effort to find a missing child.
In a mock scenario, a 12-year-old child goes missing.
Last seen wandering around the north side of the Benderson Park area.
The Sheriff's Office launches the drone in search of a boy in a red shirt.
Just gonna check under the bridge real quick.
Flying the drone is a two-man operation. The pilot, Deputy Stephen Shull, and the spotter, Captain Kevin McKeela.
When you're ready, you're clear to the south.
Okay.
While Deputy Shull focuses on the search, Captain McKeela directs him to avoid power lines and other hazards.
It looks like it's our guy. If we can get a deputy over there to make contact.
So we have a confirmed find.
And the search is over.
Okay, you're clear to return?
Coming back.
Search and rescue scenarios like this are the prime reason the department purchased the $40,000 drone.
Before, we had a lot of manpower on the ground, and we also used the aircraft.
But the sheriff's department's helicopter can't be launched in inclement weather.
It's certainly not going to be a substitute for our Air One vehicle, our helicopter. What it will do is offer supplemental overwatch, if you will, during the inclement weather events.
Right now, 3 deputies are trained to operate the new equipment, so they're always on call, ready to assist if the situation warrants. Today's launch was 2 years in the making. The Sarasota County Sheriff's Office has been researching this drone, its capabilities, and how other law enforcement agencies across the country have used it. Reporting in Sarasota County, Jess Dowdrick, ABC 7, your Suncoast News.
All right, Jess, thank you so much. Earlier this month, we told you about a group of students from Manatee County area high schools that were on their way to Singapore for a STEM competition.
When we come back, we'll show you exactly how well they did.
Tonight, the monster storm heading directly for the East Coast. More than 1 million residents ordered to evacuate. Our team is in the storm zone as Hurricane Florence takes aim. World News Tonight with David Muir, America's most watched newscast.
Get more for your money at Sunset Subaru in Sarasota. Subaru vehicles hold their value better than any other brand for 2018, according to ALG. And Subaru is Kelley Blue Book's most trusted brand for 4 years running. The Subaru Outback is an IIHS top safety pick for 10 years running. Lease a new Subaru Outback today for just $249 a month, or get 0% financing with 0 down. Get more for your money. Go to Sunset Subaru in Sarasota.
Today, everyone is looking for carpeting that lasts longer. G. Fried has you covered with Karastan. With a legacy of quality and integrity, we provide you with a huge selection of Karastan carpets with exclusive lifetime limited warranties. All installed by our highly skilled, highly knowledgeable team. Come ask us why Karastan is the best and most durable. G. Fried Flooring America. Our world is at your feet.
Did you know you could get life insurance for less than 32 cents a day? With guaranteed acceptance whole life insurance through TruStage, you can get up to $25,000 in protection with a single phone call, and you cannot be turned down for any reason. Even if you have health problems or are living on a fixed income, guaranteed acceptance whole life insurance policies could work for you, with prices starting at less than 32 cents a day. That's as low as $9.40 a month. TruStage can help free your family from immediate financial stress when you're gone.
Utility bills, mortgages, car payments, those are a lot of things that can add up pretty fast.
My mom didn't have life insurance and the cost all fell on me. And that's expensive. We're still paying for that.
Yeah, we're still paying for that.
Call 1-800-218-4991 now. In one phone call, you can help prepare your family with protection amounts up to $25,000. There are no medical tests or health questions. And remember, you cannot be turned down for any reason. In fact, TruStage policies are already protecting over 18 million Americans. And rates are designed to be affordable, starting at less than 32 cents a day. That's as low as $9.40 a month. Plus, your price will never increase and your benefit will never decrease.
When I leave, everything will be taken care of for them.
Call 1-800-218-4991 now for a free, no-obligation quote. TruStage offers plans to fit your budget with prices starting at less than 32 cents a day. Help protect your family from immediate financial burdens after you're gone with guaranteed acceptance whole life insurance through TruStage. Call 1-800-218-4991 now.
If you think it's hot outside, just wait until you see even hotter savings inside. Only at Rugs As Art Hot Summer Savings Sale event will you find the lowest prices on a vast selection of stunning rugs, furniture accents, and accessories. This special event only happens once a year, so hurry in before the best selections are gone. The Hot Summer Savings event ends soon, so don't miss out on the best prices ever. Rugs as Art, Sarasota's only area rug superstore.
Find out first at 4 with ABC 7 News at 4. First alert weather, breaking news, live updates, traffic hotspots, all at a new, more convenient time. Find out first at 4, weekdays on ABC 7.
A group of students from Manatee County finishing near the top in an international competition in Singapore. The students from Palmetto High, Braden River High, and Southeast High School all came in third place in the world's biggest STEM competition. 50 teams from 31 countries competed in the 5-day F1 in Schools event. They also won the Research and Development Award, so a big congratulations to them.
I'm a big Formula One racing fan, and that's where they are racing this weekend.
Right.
So it's pretty cool that they're there with all the teams, too.
Right. I mean, pretty neat to be there.
Yep.
Not nice to be in the Carolinas or Georgia right now. It's going to be rough going, obviously. You'll hear about it coming up in just a few minutes as well in the national news. But the visible satellite imagery showing it's getting bigger in terms of its wind field, and it's weaker in terms of the wind, but still a weak Category 3 is nothing to mess around with. 125-mile-an-hour winds right now.
Okay. Bob, thank you. World News Tonight with David Muir is coming up next.
We'll see you again at 7 and 11. Have a good night.
During the past 10 years, Tidewell Hospice volunteers have provided more than 1 million hours of service. They sit with patients, giving caregivers a break. They work in offices. They take their furry friends on pet therapy visits. They even clown around. Every task performed by a volunteer makes a difference in the lives of our patients and their families. Join Tidewell's volunteer team. They're truly 1 in a million. Tidewell Hospice. It's more than you think.
Picking out a new ceiling fan? That's a do-it-yourself. Installing your new ceiling fan?
No.
That's a don't do-it-yourself. For ceiling fans, rewires, or anything electrical, play it safe. And call on the trained electricians from your locally owned Mr. Sparky. It's no accident that so many of our customers are repeat customers. Trust Mr. Sparky for all your electrical repairs.
Call 888-8-SPARKY.
My California Closets designer is a rock star. She was able to design the most beautiful space for me. When I turn the lights on, it's breathtaking. It's just a little slice of organized heaven. The California Closet team was so professional, so reliable. It was seriously a dream come true. My name is Jill, and this is my California Closet story.
Sarasota Oxygen and CPAP is the largest locally owned CPAP supply company in the area. Is it time to replace your old equipment? The staff at Sarasota Oxygen and CPAP can show you the most up-to-date CPAP equipment and supplies to meet your sleep apnea needs, including portable travel devices and the SoClean automatic CPAP sanitizer. We serve all of Southwest Florida, giving the highest quality of care with the finest CPAP equipment. Please visit our website, sarasotacpap.com.
Stop in and save big on new Ram trucks during Ram Power Days at Sunset Dodge, Chrysler, Jeep, Ram, Fiat in Sarasota. The Ram 1500 has been named a Consumer Guide Best Buy for 6 years running. Get an all-new 2019 Ram Quad Cab for as little as $24,999. Or save big and get up to $14,328 off a new Ram Bighorn Crew Cab. Better prices, bigger selection. Go to Sunset Dodge, Chrysler, Jeep, Ram, Fiat in Sarasota.
So, how many of us feel completely confident about our financial future? Let's hear some specifics. Yes, go ahead.
I don't want to be a burden to my kids. When my husband died, it took almost all of our savings to give him a proper funeral. I honestly don't know if there's enough to bury me, let alone cover expenses should something happen.
Okay. Let's talk solutions. One thing you may want to get in place is a guaranteed whole life insurance policy from United of Omaha Life Insurance Company, which is a Mutual of Omaha company. This is affordable coverage, which provides a cash payment which can cover funeral expenses, bills, and other financial needs. Most payments are on their way within 24 hours. Yes, sir.
I need medical exams, things like that.
No medical exams. If you're between the ages of 45 and 85, you can call this number or you can go online and apply for coverage up to $25,000. United of Omaha Guaranteed Whole Life Insurance. Call or go online now.
Gettle's got what you're looking for at Gettle.com. 17 new car brands, over 1,000 used vehicles, prices and payments you can afford. Credit help if you need it, and they pay cash for your old car. Plus, Gettle Pre-Owned Certified Plus means buying with peace of mind. Need service? Gettle's got that too. Gettle's got it. Visit Gettle.com.